So, Paul, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I live in Maryland, about 20 minutes outside the DC area. Um, I know you're primarily here to talk about music and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, in terms of that, I've been playing the drums since I was about 7 years old. I just turned 34, so that's a lot of years. I was at 27 years I'm playing. Started with piano when I was 6 for just like 1 year, didn't really like it. And then my brother was taking like trumpet lessons at this store, and my mom is like, "Hey, do you want to like try an instrument?" And I happen to be like next to this like big drum set, and I'm like, "Yeah, let's how about the drums?" And I like didn't actually think she'd say yes because it's so like big and loud and it looked like really expensive. And
Oh, yeah.
she goes, "Yeah, like drums it is." So as it like not like kind of just randomly started playing, got a teacher. He was like at a local music store. Stuck with him until I was 18. Went off to college. Um, Went to university at Miami University in Ohio, not to be confused with Florida.
Oh,
And yeah, I've been doing drums ever since. I also work a job as a technical writer. I've been teaching myself programming for the past couple of years. And yeah, not a whole lot else. Have a awesome girlfriend, some local friends, bunch of bands that I play with. Yeah, that's the basic lowdown.
so how did you get involved in Run for Cover?
So yeah, I know that you interviewed Nick. To anyone else listening, Nick is our guitarist, Nick Jambruno, a homie of mine. Um, so before I started really playing with bands, I was doing a lot of drumming for musical theater. And this guy was like, "Hey, why don't you join a band?" And I'm like, "Sure, good idea." So I went on Craigslist and I found an ad for this local band. Nick happened to be in it, and it was a really solid first band. It was called Staunton. Had some awesome gigs with my boy Chris Staunton and a few other people as well as Nick. And while that was happening, me and Nick would hang out, most weekends and so forth. And he was playing in this cover band called Mr. Blonde, and so him and I were, and I went out to see his cover band. I'm like, "Damn, you guys are awesome!" And he goes, "Yeah, it's a lot of fun." And so me and Nick were like, "We could do this. Like, why don't we start our own? Why don't we just start our own, cover band? Let's do it." And Nick had been in this cover band for many years, so he kind of he knew a lot of the technical know-how for how to kind of get it up and running. Um, but we got a group together, got a group of friends together. Um, Nick kind of like handled a lot of the technology side, and I worked a lot more on like the business side, getting us gigs, figuring out how we're gonna, do the finances and whatnot. Not that it's very complicated.
Hmm.
Um, and that was I think we had our first gig in like 20. It was either late 2018 or early 2019. So we've been going for 6-ish years. Um, and yeah, at first it was like a struggle. Like, how do we even get our first gig? Just reaching out to everybody. And now we're at the point where we're, swamped. We've not enough weekends. Playing out as much as we can, mostly throughout the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. And yeah, we've been going strong ever since for about 6 years. I love it. It's my baby. I know it's Nick's baby too. We kind of co-manage it, but it's we're always working with a great group of people, and it's the best. Super happy we do it.
So, who would you want to go on tour with if you got a chance to?
I would say probably they unfortunately they just stopped touring, but Sum 41. They're my favorite band of all time. Super high energy, lots of fun music, some more, heavy stuff as well as some more like, slightly more poppy stuff. They also just everyone in the band just seems super cool.
Well, that's a good
Plus,
one.
I think we could open for them. We got even though we do cover some 41, we could skip that song. We're not gonna play Fat Lip unless you know crowd wants to hear Fat Lip twice in a night, but opening for them would be pretty fun. That'd be a dream come true. But unfortunately, I think they just finished their last tour a couple months back.
So, what is your what's the process of writing a song? Do you write the songs? Do you,
So
or
yeah,
do,
it depends. So with Run for Cover, it's all covers. We're not writing anything, which is the magic. But when I do work with original bands, me and Nick used to be in an original band together. I've also done a little bit of co-writing here and there, but it's all super collaborative. I'm not sitting here soup to nuts writing a song on my own. Like I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses. I can do a little bit of everything, but like for example, lyric writing, not my strong suit. I have written lyrics. I can do vocal melody, but kind of most people, it's you have something that you specialize in. For me, it's obviously drums. But usually the way it works is someone will come to the table with either kind of like a full song idea or maybe just like a riff or two that they want to build upon. They'll send it to whoever they're working with, be like, hey, this is what we got. Paul, do you want to write some drums to it? And so what I'll do is I'll use Ableton, or anyone can use any DAW, but I use Ableton. I will try my best to write what my best part, try to make it as professional as I can. Sometimes Nick or someone else will send me. They'll actually write some MIDI drums themselves, kind of like a simple skeleton of what they're thinking, and then I'll take it, I'll kind of enhance it, modify the dynamics, make things maybe a little more complicated here, a little simpler here, maybe completely, maybe keep it. Maybe they write a section, I'm like, this is perfect, not going to touch it, or I'll enhance it as needed. I'll send it back, and then maybe like I'll have some new ideas thrown in, and then someone will listen to be like, oh, now that this new drum part is here, now I have a new idea for this, and then they'll send me the new updated version, and I'll be like, I see what you did. Now I need to modify this. So it's a big circle. Um, but usually the way I work, it starts with, drums, guitar, and bass. And then from there, we'll try to add vocals on top of it, try to add melody, try to add lyrics. Doesn't mean you can't do it the opposite. Doesn't mean you can't start with vocals. But just the way that I've worked in the past, I tend to do it the first way.
so do you have like a, let's say there's who inspires you to get on stage and get to just be on like
You know what? So who inspires me to get on stage?
yeah.
So there's definitely like pros where I see them and I'm just like, I want to be that person, right? Like it's obviously going to be a bunch of drummers for me. I see people and I'm just like, especially growing up, I see these drummers. I'm just like, I want to be that, right? And so they can be like Neil Peart from Rush, rest in peace. John Bonham from Led Zeppelin, also rest in peace. Even some like of the jazz greats like Buddy Rich, I see them. Steve Gadd, Dave Weckl, um, Mike Portnoy. A bunch of these influences in my life, and all these people like inspire me to get on stage. But also at the same time, it's just the audience. Um, my favorite thing probably on the planet is to be on stage, rocking out with people that you know are sitting in the pocket with me. And one reason I really like it so much is the audience, is seeing their smile, seeing them jump. Um, I always say when the audience gives us energy, we respond with more energy, right? So we're going hard, they're going to go hard. And when we see them going hard, we go even harder. And again, it's another feedback loop. To me, there's just no feeling on the planet that's quite like it. And especially when you're playing the drums, it's like, you know, for the most part, you are the backbone of the rhythm. So if you're doing and you see everyone jumping with you, it kind of feels like you have the power to make them do it, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, a bunch of great drummers, and then the audience, I'd say.
Do you have a favorite place you like to play in Washington?
There's a bunch of really cool spots. The local spots there. So I get a lot of fun from. There's some smaller bars that we play um, that have the just the best group of people. There's a place we play called O'Sullivan's. It's in Arlington. They it's just always packed. There's always an amazing audience that's having so much fun, and the way the configuration of the room works out, you have people kind of like this is the stage, and you kind of have people like surrounding you on like different sides, and it's just a really fun place to play. We recently played at Tally Ho Theater. That's less of like a bar and more of like an actual big venue with a big stage. That's a really cool place. Awesome green room, really good sound team, big stage to play on. Um, Used to play at this place called the Wrecker, which was also just another really big, fun room. Sure, I'm forgetting some, but places like that, those are always a really good time. We always leave smiling at those places.
Where would you want to go on tour with if you got the chance to? Like outside
Wait, say
of
it one more time.
like where would you want to go on tour with if you got the chance to if you were not in Washington?
I mean, going across just a different continent would be something else, I think. I mean, I'd love to do, I'd love to play like Red Rocks. I think Red Rocks is probably like the place that I want to just hit up the most as just like a single venue. But I think touring across Europe sounds super cool. Although getting there sounds like a bit of a nightmare because I don't really like flying that much.
Mm,
Um, yeah, I'd say somewhere out there, just hitting up all the countries, just playing everywhere I could.
yeah, I bet. I mean, it's expensive, but it's
Oh,
hard.
yeah. Okay, okay, yeah. I mean, if you're talking more about practicality, like that, probably not, because I think everyone knows that unless you're like in that top 0.01%, like you're probably losing money while you tour, unless you just strike gold and you know exactly the right place to play on the right day and you somehow have like the perfect audience. Um, but yeah, touring it's pretty cool, but it's definitely it's a bit of a money sink for a lot of people.
Is it hard to find the right days to go to do a show?
Yeah, definitely. So like think I mean if you consider going on tour, let's say you book a tour that's I don't know, 25 dates. You know, the best days are probably going to be like Friday and Saturday night, maybe the occasional Thursday, but it's really tough to get people out of the house on a Tuesday or a Monday. Um, and when you're playing, you probably want to squeeze in as many shows as you can because that's more room for ticket sales, merch sales, just getting in front of people. Plus, being on the road, like you want to play. Some sets are longer than others. Maybe one night you get to play a full 2 to 3 hour block. Another night you're only playing 45 minutes or even less. Sometimes it's like 25 minutes, depending on, how much how who depending on who books the show, who else is on the card.
Is there other cover bands you do you like to play with when you're on tour, or if just random, like just when you have a show? And
We're not specifically looking for so when booking a tour, booking a show, it depends what you're doing. Like if you're having like a big emo night, right? Like having other cover bands with you could be cool. If you're an original band, maybe having a cover band as the opener is actually a good idea. Recently, we opened for a band called Burn the Ballroom, and they're an originals band, but we're a cover band. And they actually were telling us, we they were like, we really liked having Run for Cover as our opener because um, you playing so many playing covers, you're playing songs that everyone knows and they know every single song, and it's a really good way to warm up the audience. Um, but another thing you want to consider is how how big the band is. Like one, you obviously want the band to sound good. You don't want to work with a band that doesn't sound good. You don't want to work with a band that doesn't have cool people that are easy to work with, smart, reliable, and so forth. But you want to pick someone that's going to make the show better, right? Who are we doing this for? We're doing this for the audience, right? If the audience isn't happy, if the venue isn't happy, nothing's going to go well. So it is tricky. You do have to think about where you are, what bands exist. Maybe there's a band that's coming on tour with you, but very often you're going to have to choose local bands, especially if you're coming in from out of town. You got to find a band, one that wants to play with you, hopefully open with you. Um, but they've got to fit all those. They got to check all those other boxes that I mentioned. They got to be good. They got to be reliable. They got to hopefully have a draw because you want to pack the
Yeah,
house. It's more
yeah,
fun, more
yeah.
ticket sales and stuff,
Mm.
but it's all about fun for me at least.
Well, I mean, I've booked a couple of benefit concerts in Kansas City, and it's hard. It's like the days that you don't want to be booked on is Mondays, or because nobody
Right,
comes, or because they're
right.
working, or just don't really want to come out of the house.
Yeah, or they got kids at home or something.
Yeah.
I mean, who really wants to get out of the house anyways? I think I think
Well,
if if I didn't have to leave this house, I would never leave this house. I love my place.
well, I mean, it's nice to get out and about sometimes.
Oh yeah, I'm joking
Just,
for sure. Yeah, yeah.
but could you turn down the volume a little bit? Because
Absolutely.
it's
Let's
screaming in
see.
my ear.
My apologies. Is this better? Worse? The same?
Maybe it's my
Hold on.
end.
Is this better?
Yeah,
Cool. Is this better?
yeah, that's fine. I can hear you, but much.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm seeing this little slidey bar here on the right, but I'm not like
Oh,
actually sure if it's doing anything.
yeah, it is. I see it sliding by.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let me know if you need me to adjust it more. Wait, so
Maybe
you book shows. You've mentioned you are in a band too, or multiple bands?
well, no. I do a lot of spoken word and by my like just for fun. I have music
Okay.
on, but I do a lot of podcasting though. So, I mean, I
Yeah.
play a lot of bands and musicians, and I've interviewed a couple of celebrities once in a while, but not that much. But, I do get
Gotcha.
but I
Yeah.
do write music though, but just do it for fun.
Yeah, because I know you got you're thinking about applying it to getting some books out, so
Yeah, yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's something I've been trying to get out, and I thought it would be a good idea because a lot of people were saying that Spaceship is really good. So I was thinking, oh, that's be a good story because it has a good story to it. And I wrote that in college, so I mean, it's kind of interesting.
Hey man, if you got passion, make it sweet. And then you can make millions, like just like that. It'll be super easy.
Yeah, it's kind of
Pay for
scary.
us to go on tour.
It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary to put out the song that you written and then just like have the world have it. But I mean, it's there, I guess.
Yeah, I know
Well,
the feeling. Like you hope people aren't gonna you hope people are gonna like it. They're not just gonna look at you and be like,
yeah, I don't know. Hopefully they don't steal it, but I mean, they're gonna buy it. Hopefully they buy it.
keep the stealing to a reasonable minimum.
But it's a short song, but I mean, it's a great song though.
Hey, if it means something to you.
It has a good story to it. Um, let's see what I have on this list. What's your favorite animal?
All right, I have a few thoughts about this. So monkeys are awesome. I think monkeys are super cool. Um, just the fact that they can just like throw themselves around. Monkeys are cool. But like, I know this is gonna be really boring. Dog.
Oh,
Dog is just like the best animal, you know?
yeah. Well, I mean, dogs are
Yeah,
really cool too. I mean, cats are nice, but because they don't do anything, they
cats are
just
cool
sit
too.
around. But what kind of dog?
Another tough one. All right, like it's really all right. I have like my own dog, which I like, or it's like my mom's dog. Small little Maltese. It's like 8 pounds. Love my dog to death. Greatest dog in the world because it's my dog, right? Everyone's favorite dog is their dog. But like
Um,
if I had to choose a dog type, I wouldn't choose like an 8 pound dog. I had a buddy who he had a dog, and him well he never knew what type it was. And I was like, this is the greatest dog. I want this exact type of dog when I'm older. I want this. I just want to steal your dog. I didn't know what type it was. He had no idea what it was, but that kind. So that's your answer.
oh, well, my
No, but
dog.
honestly, like my girlfriend always talks about like German shepherds.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are super cool. I think all right, I got. You ever heard of a chow chow?
No, sounds like a
Chow
Spanish.
chow is my favorite dog.
Sounds like a Spanish dog.
If you look up chow chow, it's basically like I'd say it's probably the fluffiest type of dog on earth. I know that
Oh,
there's something called like a Samoyed or something. I don't know. I'm definitely not pronouncing it right. If you look those up, those are fluffy. Chow chow. Trust me.
Oh,
Those dogs are cute.
like a like a stuffed like a bear. Have you seen those dogs?
Yeah, there's some dogs that look like, dude, I've seen dogs that look like just big polar bears. They walk around like 190 pounds or something like that. Yeah. No, but Chow Chows, I'm a firm believer that like the fatter and the stupider the dog is, the cuter. And like there's this Chow Chow that I'm like familiar with. Super fat, super stupid, super cute. Chow Chow, final answer.
Well, that's a good answer. I mean, that will take a lot of food to get to have that
Oh yeah.
animal.
Yeah, it's gonna eat you out of house and home.
Do you listen to TV shows or a podcast when you're on the road,
Say it
or
again.
a podcast or
Oh,
a TV show?
I mean, I generally will not have television going while I'm driving, just for safety purposes. So I'm gonna go
Well,
with
well, I'm
podcast.
not saying like
But
have the
but
TV on when you're driving, but I mean, just like usual.
honestly, I check out audio. I'd go with podcasts, but I definitely check out some like audiobooks and stuff too. Um,
Do you have a favorite author?
no, definitely not. I can't name any authors. But
Oh,
like I'm reading this book. It's called I forget it's called I forget the exact number. It's like 50 or 40, I don't know, it's called like the 50 Laws of Power or something. Really intense book. I've been listening to that on audio, and it's basically like 50 chapters or 30 chapters, and each chapter is like one of the laws of power, and it's crazy. I'd recommend it. I'm only like a quarter into it, but I would definitely recommend it to people who are interested. It gets you thinking
I
differently.
figured out that that Apple where you can listen to books on. I figured out there's always you can listen to your podcast on there too.
Yeah, yeah, there usually is some way to get on there and check your stuff out. So yeah, and then of course your podcast.
Yeah,
Always have that one on.
my
Always got it on in the background.
you really do?
No,
Oh, you should.
I've watched two episodes of your podcast.
Well, they're also been featured in Delaware too.
Really?
Yeah, at the university.
Are you actually played on like the radio, or are you just
Uh,
putting podcasts on like Spotify or
no, my show is on at the university playing.
gotcha. Yeah, I was checking you out through like Instagram mostly.
Oh, well, that's more another place you can go. It's
Hmm.
they're all spread everywhere, but um, I do have them on. It goes on Spotify. Like mostly my songs are on Spotify, but not my shows. But besides the videos, like they're on Spotify, but they're not like the audio versions of
Hmm.
the interviews. But yeah.
Good on you for getting it up there. I know it's a bit of a process sometimes to get it together, upload it, and all that.
Yeah, it takes forever. I mean, it's also having your music on so many platforms, trying to get them to get money back from the like the songs to get it played. Like it's
Hmm.
kind of slow on that, but I don't get that much
Yeah,
money. But I mean, do get the
no one
amount.
does.
I mean, I get the amount I need, but
Yeah. No, I mean that's the dream, right? Just be able to like produce enough music where that music can fund like the cost of the next song
mhm.
or whatever you need to do. And then you just have like a massive library, and that library is funding like more production until you're like exponentially making so much money from it. Tough to get there though.
Yeah,
You gotta you gotta first lose a lot before you start making a lot.
it the TuneCore is just taking too much money out of my pocket.
I definitely understand that. Yeah, you gotta love what you're doing.
What's the process like? So have you like what's the process of having being a part of a cover band?
Can you elaborate on that question?
Like what like how can you so you were before you were saying you found it on that helps. How
Are you
this?
asking me what does it take to make a cover band work? Is that
Yeah,
kind of what you're asking?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Yeah, so that's a great question. And just like all of my other answers, it's more than just one sentence. So there's work on stage, and then there's work off stage. And I would argue the work off stage is probably more than the work on stage. It's about 50-50, maybe 60-40 or so. Um, but when we play shows, you're on stage for about 3 to 4 hours. Um, you got an hour plus of load in, an hour plus of load out. Um, but besides that, are we just sitting there twiddling our thumbs the rest of the week? No. Um, so every band functions differently, but we do consider ourselves to function pretty much like a business. Just as any company would, right? We have like finance, marketing, finance and accounting, marketing, technology, operations. Um, we don't really have a legal team. A little small for that. We do have Chat GPT though. Um, but we do work. There's a big stigma with musicians that musicians are lazy and drunk all the time, and not reliable. And the fact of the matter is that definitely can be true. But for a lot of people, it's definitely not. And just like with any business, you need to surround yourself with the right team. Like if you want to be in a band where everyone's just constantly getting sloshed, yeah, you can do that. Um, and it might work out. The way we work, you know, yeah, if you want to drink, you can drink. We're lucky where the four of us, we're not like huge alcoholics or anything. We're not drinking that much. A couple beers here and there, maybe, but um, we tell people when we onboard them, we're like, we don't care if you drink, just don't let it be a problem. Um, and that goes back to our process. We really need to find the right people. So um, we spend a lot of time in our audition process to make sure that we find the right people. We'll actually talk to people for usually between 1 and 3 hours before we even bring them in for an audition, just so that we can explain how we operate. Because we have a million tiny little details to go over. Nothing's hard to understand, but we tell people you're either with it or you're not with it, right? You either are down with our process that has essentially been proven time and time again to work, or you're not. And if you're not down with it, if you're not going to be a team player, if you're not going to be someone that we can rely on, um, good on stage, easy to work with, then you aren't even allowed to come in for an audition. We don't want you. Um, but it takes a lot of small things done right and done with care. And we've made a ton of mistakes. As I mentioned earlier, Nick had a lot of good experience with cover bands to begin with, so he had already kind of made a lot of those mistakes, and he was able to be like, hey, I don't think we should do this, or hey, this is a really good idea. Trust me, we definitely want like this song. I know you don't like the song, like Paul. I know you don't like the song "Drops of Jupiter," but trust me, it always works. And I'm like, all right, if we have to, like, I don't like it, but fine. And he was right. The song really works, right? So a lot of that knowledge has come to help, but it takes a lot of attention to detail. For example, with like booking, like we need to make sure that we never, we don't want to show up late. We don't want someone to forget that there's a gig. We don't want to promise X and deliver Y, so forth. But it takes a lot of work to make things run smoothly. But once you once you're in it, once you're onboarded, once you understand how things work, it's not rocket science. Everything that we do for a reason. And we've again, it's like we even just like song choice. If a song doesn't work, it's gone. If it doesn't make the crowd jump and dance and have a good time, it's gone. And we've had those. But at this point, we have like a bunch of, we basically only play popular songs that people know. But that comes from, it comes from trial and error and also being able to like drop our egos. That's another big thing in order to make a band work is you can't have an ego. Well, you can, but if you had, but you can't have an ego and be in my band. Hell no. um, if you have an ego, things start to go wrong. That's the reason that we don't like that. Um, Arguments ensue. Um, you you're gonna start likely thinking emotionally rather than logically. Um, if it were up to me and what I desired, we would play nothing but some 41 songs all night, right?
Mm.
But can't do that. You got to play stuff for the crowd. So again, ego, right? If I was like, no, we gotta, I know best, trust me, my musical taste is so perfect, then the band would fail. Um, so yeah, short answer is that.
All right. So what songs are on the list for a show?
So standard show, 3 to 4 hours. We play, I want to say 13 to 14 songs per set. So somewhere between 40 to 45 songs a night. 90% of what we play is going to be high energy music, either in the rock or pop category. Generally, in the most of what we do nowadays is in the 2000s and 2010s. We definitely still play some 90s stuff, but we play just spitball a few Boys of Summer, Mr. Brightside, Fat Lip, um, play Face Down by Red Jumpsuit Apparatus sometimes. We play Misery Business. We play Since You've Been Gone. Um, oftentimes, like, oftentimes I literally forget what the song is even called. Like we play Misery Business, right? I never call it Misery Business. I call it Paramore.
Oh,
So yeah, and but that's bad though because sometimes um I'm the one who will fire off the song. I'm the one who like starts it off basically, and we'll use a basically a computer on stage, give or take, more or less a computer, and I will have to literally select the song. I'll kick it off, and because we use a click track, you're gonna hear like in your ear, right? You're gonna hear like "Since You've Been Gone," intro 2, 3, 4, something like that. But the problem is sometimes I forget what the song is called. I know how to play it. If someone starts playing, I'm like, oh, here's how it is. But the other day, we haven't played. What's that? I'm forgetting the name of it. It's that Weezer song, "Say It Ain't So." Someone held up their phone saying, "Can you play Weezer?" And then Nick turns around and goes, "Hey, we're gonna play Weezer. We're gonna play the Weezer song next." And I'm like, "Cool." So I'm like cycling through the menu of the catalog of songs, and I'm like, I have no idea what this is called anymore. I know what song you're talking about, but I have no. And I'm like, Nick, Nick, what is the song called? And he has his in-ears in, so like he can't really hear me. I'm trying to like throw a drumstick at him, and be like, dude, what? I know what you want to play, but like, what are we playing? And he looks at me like, dude, are you? You really don't know what this is called? And then there it is. I find it eventually.
okay. So you're looking through the list trying to find that song. How long does it take you to
Yes,
find that song? Do you just play it when you
I'd
hear
say
the
usually,
melody?
hopefully less than 10 seconds. Um, so we have set lists, and the songs that are in this computer are in an order to match the set list. But almost every show, there's going to be an audible. For some reason, we're going to say this song should not be next. Just maybe based on how the crowd is, you know, handling the show, or maybe if we get a request. Um, so usually it's just like next. I literally like push the next button and we're there. But if not, like I kind of got to go through the menu. I have to like sometimes if it's not on the set list, let's say we have like an extra song, like Say It Ain't So isn't on our main set list. So then I have to literally leave the set list that I'm on, go to maybe like the master list or a different set list, and then I have to cycle through it. But what's fun is I literally use my drumsticks. It's a pad that I'm hitting, so I'm literally using my drumsticks. So if I'm on like if it's like an alphabetical order list and I'm in the A's and I need to get to the songs in the Z's and that's like 180 tracks down, I literally just go as fast as I can and people see me just like they'll see me doing that. Like, they'll see me doing that on stage. Like, what is the guy doing? Why is he hitting this rubber pad? And I'm just looking for a song, man. I'm just trying to make this. I'm just trying to make the show go.
Well, I mean, it's nice that you have all that equipment, but it takes a lot of time to get it all down and back into your
Oh
bag.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's expensive too. You got to buy it. You got to learn how to use it. Nick again, he's kind of like the master of technology with the band, but he at one point he like hands me that computer. It's called a Roland SPDX, something like that. Roland whatever. And he's like, all right, like Paul, like I got a lot to do. Like I need you to like kind of handle this and figure out all the tracks and stuff that we're using. And I'm like, okay. Sat there for hours trying to figure it out. It is a nightmare to use that thing. And I come back to Nick like a week later, just sweating, being like, all right, I did it. It's all there. It sucked. And he goes, did you use the app? And I look at it, I'm like, there's an app. And like actually just getting like 10 to 15 songs set up took like 4 hours one day. And then with the app, I was able to do those 10, 15 songs in maybe like 15 minutes. So it can be a nightmare. But yeah, again, it is. But to answer your original question, yeah, it's a lot of equipment to bring and pack up. So we do have to kind of manage that, make sure everyone knows what we're bringing, can't forget anything, can't forget how to set it up, can't forget it at the venue either. Um, but it's all part about making the show work. We've got, the drums, the guitar, the instruments, but then there's other things like lights, there's banners that we use, there's this Roland device, there's probably some other things, subs. But again, it's the more we find that the more we put into it, the more work we put into it, the more effort we put into it, the more the crowd is going to enjoy what's happening, and the more that the venue tends to like it. The venue sees it because I know a lot of venues pull in bands that are just a couple of people that just kind of roll in. They
Mm.
quickly plug in. They don't dress up. They don't do anything, but maybe they sound good. But then you have another band that sounds just as good, but they bring all the stuff, and it's like, wait, these guys just from a visual standpoint, like these guys are more interesting to watch. They're just more professional. They get it down. To any band that might be listening, if you're questioning like, hey, maybe should we try this? We've never used lights, we've never got banners. The answer is yes. Get it. It will help.
Well, I've been to a couple of concerts in like back in the day, and there is there's a band from Long Island, New York that used to have all the lights and like the
Hmm.
all the cool little little things that they stand up on that are like boxes. Then there are like lights.
Risers.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and then I was like, oh,
Yeah, it's
that's kind of cool. Then like the whole room like lights up somehow because the all
yeah.
the lights are flashing in the videos.
Yeah, it helps to just visually, it makes you, well, unless you're like just using it terribly and you have no idea what you're doing, it'll probably make you look a lot more professional. Um, and yes, we're playing music, but the looks matter. There's a reason if you go watch a professional, if you buy a $17,000 ticket to be in the 90th row of a concert nowadays, you'll see the bands dress up. They have professional lighting. They have all these things for a reason, and the lights change, right? You probably don't want the same color all the time. Maybe if you can set up a way to have the lights switch mid-song, or maybe switch after every song, just something to keep it interesting for the patrons. It's all important. It's all the little details that add up that can really help set you apart. If you're trying to get the edge on other bands, it's the the devil's in the details.
How many people
And
are
no, and
in
notice we're talking a lot about stuff that has nothing to do with the music.
music?
We're talking about
Well,
everything else, right?
it's well, but one well, still, it's mostly about music. I mean, you got the band and all.
right? Without the music, none of it matters. But there are ways to make people think the music sounds better than it does.
Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah, like
what
like they say you eat with your eyes, right? Like if you can have the most delicious food, but if it looks like, you know, if it looks not so good, you're probably not even gonna touch it, right?
yeah. Well, okay, well here's another one. Here's more about the music, I guess. Um, so do you have a favorite song you like to play on stage besides the one that you've been throwing out before? But
Favorite to play. All right. There is another group that I play with, called Practically Einstein, and he does the band leader. He does his own version of Country Roads. Basically, think Country Roads meets Green Day, so kind of like a faster rockin' version of it. That's really fun. The way he does it, it's just a lot of fun. Um, and then also another fun one that I do with him is it's that song like I would walk 500 miles, whatever that's. I don't know
uh
if that's the actual title for it. Um, but you
sound
know the song, right?
yeah, yeah. Something like
I
something
would walk 500 miles, and I would
yeah,
walk
yeah.
500 more, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
so we do that, but then halfway through, um, you go back to you go back to kind of this pretty simple riff, but our bass player will switch it up and he'll start playing Billie Jean, and we'll go into Billie Jean from there, and then
Cool.
45 seconds later we'll go into Enter Sandman, and then maybe there'll be like another song thrown in after that, and at this point we've been playing for about 5 minutes on the same song, and then it all comes back to I would walk 500 miles at the end, and the crowd tends to go pretty hard during that. That's a lot of fun for me.
So has your band ever played in like for a wedding?
Yeah. We've done a few, not too many. We're working with an agency now to hopefully get a few more. But yeah, we've done weddings, private events, bars, sporting events. Like we did stuff for like the NFL before. Honestly, we do anything, as long as there's a good reason for us to play it, we'll do it.
That's good.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
So what kind of things you want me to ask you? You think about music.
What do you want me to ask you? I mean, you didn't ask if I was taller than Nick. Will you ask me if I'm taller than Nick?
Yeah, are you already taller than Nick?
I am.
Oh, because Nick is
He'll never.
short.
He will never admit. He will never admit it. But I am taller than him. He knows.
Well,
He knows
I
I've got a
mean,
solid eighth of an inch on him. He knows.
well, I guess I'm gonna have to see your band play at the place if you ever come to Kansas City.
Hey man, we'll hit you up if we go out there. Wait, but
Um,
you're can't, like okay. I know. I'm like super ignorant. It's it's in Missouri, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. There. Okay, I'll tell you this. Kansas City has so many places in this city. It's like too many freaking cities. It's crazy. You have Missouri, then you have Missouri, Kansas, then you have KU, then you have St. Louis. That's not even a part of Kansas City, but then they call themselves Missouri as well. I mean, this whole Kansas City places, I don't know, it's strange. It's strange to be here in Kansas City, but I live outside. I'm in the suburbs, so I'm outside of Kansas City.
In Missouri, not Kansas, right?
No, I'm in Kansas.
Okay, you're in Kansas,
I'm not,
outside of Kansas City, which is
yes,
in Missouri or in Kansas.
in Kansas.
This
Yes,
is okay. Yeah, this is
it's
complicated.
very it's very. I mean, there's so many freaking cities in one little spot, and it's too and confusing. It's confusing to me talking about it,
Yeah. I think
but
we were in Missouri. We were on tour. Nick and I were on tour with a different band, with like a new metal cover band. I think we went no, we went to St. Louis, Missouri.
okay. Well, that's on the other side of the that's farther away from us. That's in St. Louis is on the other side,
Yeah.
way farther out. And then
I have a couple friends who are like geography masters, and if they listen to this, they're just gonna be like, "Paul, shut the fuck up, dude. You're so bad at this."
well, I mean, there's so many places in Kansas City. It's crazy, but it's how it is, I guess. But it's still fun out here. I mean, it's sad about these music venues though, but there's like music venues that are not here anymore. Those were the best. Then they have like
Hmm.
the crappy ones still around. And then
The scene out
there's
there is it good?
yeah, it is. We got the blues. I love the blues and the jazz, but I mean,
Hmm.
and there's a couple of good bands out here that I listen to and are friends with, but some of them are not around anymore, so it's kind of sad. But
Yeah, yeah, we've had a bunch close down here too. Then some new ones open though.
yeah, I wish there was more wheelchair accessible here in Kansas City, but
Hmm.
there's not.
Is that a big problem? Is that a problem out there?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can imagine.
all the old buildings are very. They don't have anything. They don't have any like ways to get upstairs. It's everything like the venues are upstairs.
Gotcha. Yeah, we play at a venue called it's called Soft House. It's in DC. Another really fun venue, but it's literally like it's either the third or like the fourth floor. You have to climb like it's like a 3 minute walk upstairs to get there, and we actually have there's like a crane device that we use to haul our gear up, and I could definitely see that being a problem. They need an having an elevator would be pretty cool there.
I mean, there's a couple of bars that are like are nice, but they're also like a venue, and it's called the Ship. And there's really great bands that play there, but they don't really have a wheel. They only have like a they have a chair that goes up, but it's not very safe. And then I don't really want to go on that chair that's not safe enough to get me
Yeah,
up a hill or whatever.
yeah,
Um,
that
but
doesn't sound like a good idea.
no, but I mean, there's several of them. But I mean, then you got the mini bar. That's another venue that doesn't have any disability way to get into their building. So that's kind of like an old building. It's kind of sad, but all these cool places that don't have any places for people that have a problem getting upstairs. So I
Yeah.
don't know, but it's
No, I
how
mean
it.
that's rough. If people can't get if they want to see a show, I definitely can understand. That just sucks if you can't go for that reason.
Yeah, well, then you try to see if there's any like coffee shops that are open up. Yeah, we'll go see that or something else. I
Yeah.
don't know, but who
Sometimes those
cares?
little coffee shops have the tightest musicians though.
Yeah, let's see what
Sometimes
else
that
is.
like random 2 million, subscriber YouTube person, musical genius is just rocking a small little shop and blowing everyone's mind.
Yeah, yeah. Well, some of them are good when they're at the coffee shops, but it's like you can't play a lot of music at the coffee shop for that long.
Yeah. Yeah. Volume's an issue too. And like you're probably more like background music at that point.
Yeah, I mean, a long time ago, there's a band here in Kansas City. I was good friends with them, and she played at a coffee shop all the time. And then she brought her band in, and then that whole coffee shop was packed as like nobody could move. So there was like a lot of people there. It's crazy. Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see if there's any good questions on here. What's your favorite color?
Green.
The same. I
Yeah,
like that
not black.
color.
You'd think,
Why do you
uh,
think I would say black? Do you wear black all the time?
yeah. Sometimes for a lot of music stuff, you just kind of have to default to black. I was trying to, introduce polka dots or something, zebra stripes. Again, your ego can't be big. You gotta be willing to take the nose, or else you can't do music.
So I've seen those pictures of you guys taking some interesting pictures for your promos. Those are fun pictures.
Yeah, my girlfriend is actually the photographer for like the vast majority of stuff you'll see on our social media nowadays is with like from those photo shoots with my girlfriend. She's a super talented photographer. If you're interested, her Instagram is captures by Sanam, Sanam, and she's a really sick concert photographer as well as just good with like the portraits and whatever. I don't know all the terminology, but it's nice because getting a photography is expensive. It's especially someone good like her, and she really does us a solid, and we are very appreciative. And she also she gets stressed out because she goes she doesn't want to release any pictures that doesn't make us look good. And I can really appreciate that, that she really cares about like she wants us to like the photos
Hmm.
and as well as audiences and so forth.
Yeah, when I do my benefit concerts here, or when I do them every other month, try to find a good charity that I raise all the money for, and then the bands do as well. But then I find a good photographer in Kansas City. And sometimes I use the
Yeah,
same one, and they also do it for the charity,
yeah,
donate their time. And that's how I love it. Because it's like to get all different people in Kansas City that are photographers that are amazing. Some are not that great, but some of them are. I mean, you have to
yeah,
find the right ones.
yeah. You got to having good photos is another thing that definitely can it's it's something that can really make something seem more professional, like a lot more professional. Um, it's kind of like good audio. Like you need good audio, or else if something looks really good but the audio isn't good, a lot of people might not tune in. Um, and have it. It's just another thing that when done right, it's something that really can enhance your EPKs for sure. Helps, they're getting exposure themselves too. And, and also you mentioned doing like charity events, like we're all for that. That's, if being able to give back is where, it's a good feeling. It's knowing that you're helping some other people. We're
Yeah,
definitely
I I,
supporting that.
I love doing that. I love love being a being doing benefit booking shows. I mean, I started it when I was in high school, and then I kind of first I kind of stepped into the normally booking shows, and then I kind of said, "Oh, this is not paying for me any money." So I kind of stopped doing that, and then I said, "Oh, let's just do benefit concerts, raise money for different causes." So, I mean, I did a couple
Yeah.
of good ones. I booked it for Save the Music Foundation, VH1, Jeff Buckley, and so much other ones. I don't know.
Yeah, that's awesome. Plus also a lot of people just they'll come out if they find out that it's like it's for a good cause. People get up for that. It's hard to get people out of that. Sometimes it's like you say, "Oh, hey, come to my show." It's like, "No, it's for a good cause." And like, "Okay. All right."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, they should do that more. I mean, I could go. I try to get out there.
Yeah. It's tough to find the time sometimes though. It's, if we could do all charity stuff that'd be great, but unfortunately, we do have to get paid too, so it's kind of like, all right, we'll do charity once. We will do charity stuff, and I always encourage other bands to do it too because it's even it's good for your PR even, but also again, it's like why not? Like do something good, give back once in a while. It's generally for the better, you know?
Yeah. If have you guys collaborated when um would you ever collaborate with the band and do a show together or write a song together?
Sure. Um I haven't done like a ton of collabs, but the biggest collab did Nick and I were doing a song with Kellen Quinn, who's the singer of Sleeping with Sirens. Um but yeah, if I did a collab with this one guy and his the bassist was like I had never met him before this, but it was named Skeeter Thompson, and it's that's the bassist who was in the band Scream. And if you haven't heard of Scream, that's the band Dave Grohl was in before he joined Nirvana. So I'm like, I roll into the studio and it's like, that's Skeeter Thompson. Ah, cool. But yeah, I haven't done like a ton of collabing stuff, but like, yeah, like why not, you know? Meet some
Yeah.
cool musicians who are probably better than me, learn a
Mhm.
thing or two, even if they're like not a drummer, like especially if they're like really good, it's like I'm gonna learn from you.
Yeah. I mean, I've done a couple of because my songs are on Spotify or some of them are well, I have well, I have an album on Spotify that is all collaboration, and I have several from Kansas City and one from Canada, and
Mhm.
a band called Hollow Stage and the 3 Mile
It's
Islanders.
cool. Yeah, it's
Yes.
a good way to I think it's a good way to spread the word. Um, there's like a synergistic effect when if I have just like one person promoting myself but if you have like two people promoting yourself and the other person, then, you get 100 people here and 100 people here. Well, hopefully, the magical algorithms will like that more. And, instead of getting, one plus one and getting two, maybe you get three because one plus one apparently equals three now.
Oh, Nazi. Mm, all right. Well, that's cool. Where can like people listen to like to who want like where can people find your music at? Or
Um, so Run for Cover is like a cover band again, so we do covers, so live, live at shows. Um, I want to say I've got links on my Instagram, um, for original music that I've done, and that's on Spotify as well. It should be on like all platforms, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes. I don't know. There are other platforms nowadays. Apple Music. Do people use iTunes anymore? Apple Music?
uh
Is it the same
yeah,
thing?
I use all of them. I mean, I use Apple. There's Spotify. There's YouTube.
Hmm.
What's another one? I don't know. There's so many you could think
Yeah, I don't know
of.
either.
But
Whatever the distributors go to. Yeah.
um, so you're saying you do your own music on the side, right?
Not that often anymore. I used to. Now most of my music is cover stuff. I haven't done original stuff for a bit.
Well, that's sad. I'm just kidding.
No, I'll do it. Every now and then, someone hits me up and they're like, "Hey, you want to hop in on drums for the studio or something like that?" Um, or "Hey, can you help me flush out this part or something like that?" But no, nowadays, I spend so much time doing the live music that the originals has definitely kind of been put on the back burner a little bit. Um, but that itch still exists to create. But all the albums and stuff that I'm on, those are on Spotify and all that. But I haven't been producing or anything so recently. It's been more focused on the live music and spend a lot of time with my girlfriend, spend a lot of time teaching myself software stuff and just trying to grow Run for Cover. We've been pushing Run for Cover pretty hard the past year and making a lot of progress. breaking into new venues, um, and just trying to grow out, get bigger, get more presence, and see who wants us. You know,
Yeah. So
yeah,
did you when you were I'm just gonna say how many don't you have a girl in your bands?
yes. Cassie is our newest member. So Run for Cover, we had a really great singer. Her name was Brooke. Had her for the past few years, and then last, I want to say like September or something like that, maybe earlier, I don't know, around then, she lets us know she's like, hey, moving down to South Carolina or North Carolina, one of the Carolinas. She's moving in with her sister. It's been real, but bye. No, I mean she gave us a few months. She's like, a few months so we could find someone, and then into we go into panic mode. Because one, like we had like 3 days before she left or something like that, we had just finished onboarding a new bass player. His name's Will. Super cool dude, super reliable, super talented, amazing bandmate. We're beyond lucky to have him. But then Brooke is like, hey, and when we're talking to Will, we're like, yeah, we're a solid team. We all like each other. This is once you learn the songs, like it's all going to be easy. And then like a couple days later, we're like, hey, Will, we now have to audition a singer, so don't leave the band, please. Um, don't think we're, not stable. But yeah, we lost Brooke, and then we looked we looked high and low, auditioned a bunch of singers, and she actually reached out to me. We had so many people to go through, and I had actually forgotten to reach back out to Cassie. We had gone through a bunch of auditions already, and Cassie's like, "Hey, don't forget about me." And we're like, "Oh yeah, you come in for an audition." And then she blew us away. She had like the perfect audition. Talk about preparation. I think we gave her like 7 or 8 songs. We always give people during auditions the hardest songs that we have. Um, since You've Been Gone, Welcome to the Black Parade, Misery Business. Things are just really challenging vocally, and she nailed every single song perfectly. Didn't drop a word. You know, hit the notes. It wasn't bending into the notes. Um, and but a lot of it before that was just talking to her again, being like, "Do you want to do this? Do you understand what we're about? Like, here's every single thing that we need from you." And it was like it was talking to someone who'd clearly been through an interview process before. She's like, I got you. Like she was prepared for the interview process. She had clearly, you know, like researched us a lot, and she knew the right questions to ask. She knew the right answers. And of course, the real question is during this is she full of shit? Is she lying? Does she just know the right thing to say? No, she's not. She's been fantastic ever since then. Real again, just just like Will, very easy to work with, very skilled, really good attitude. Um, you know, shows up on time, does great on stage. Everyone loves her. All the crowd loves her. The bars, the venues, they all think she's really talented. And those two have been a really good audition to the band. Really good addition to the band. Um, so yeah, me and Nick we started off, and we've had a few different bass players, a few different vocalists, but me and Nick have always been solid since the beginning. And this is probably our like fourth or fifth iteration of the band members, and I'd say this is probably our strongest lineup since yet. And we've always had strong lineups, but now it's really good. I mean, I at least I won't speak on behalf of Nick, but I'm very pleased with how they've both done.
Well, that's exciting. You got to do all that fun stuff, trying to find the right girl to be in the band.
Yeah.
Hopefully she's a powerhouse.
Oh, she is. Yeah, yeah. And we've had four different singers. Um, every singer has been better than the next. The Brooke and Cassie have really been like the creme de la creme, though. When we lost Brooke, me and Nick were like, oh boy, like, are we ever gonna find, you know, someone who can sing like Brooke? And and then we got Cassie. We're like, yes, yes, holy crap, we found someone good again. If it is, it's scary, when you can't find a good singer. So big shout out to Brooke. She was fantastic. She was in the band for a solid 2 years. Fantastic. And we're like, Cassie, you got some big shoes to fill, and she's done super great since then. Cassie has really stepped up. Oh, and another thing to praise. Actually, I'll praise her and Will both for similar things. Usually, when we onboard someone, we give them 3 months to learn. From the date of the audition to the first stage date where we want you on stage. We give them 3 months. Both Will and Cassie had the 3 months of work done in about a month. Um, we actually, it was one of Brooke's last gigs, and she got really sick, and it was 3 days before the show, and we were about to cancel. I got Cassie on the phone. We're like, Cassie, I know we told you 3 months, and I know you. She's updated us on the progress. We see, you've already made a lot of progress, but we see that there's still like, a few songs you haven't learned. Like, can you make it this Friday? Like this, like I know it's not ideal, but like, can you do this? And she goes, I don't know, but I'll make it work. And she did. She showed up like I don't know. I give her like a 99 out of 100 for that first show. Like maybe forgot like one lyric or had like one entrance where she kind of like forgot, but it's like, dude, that's your first time on stage with us, and you had to cram the last 2 months of your studies into 2 days. Like, my God, like if this is a sign of things to come, like, good, we made the right choice.
Well, that's good. Well,
Yeah, of
well, thanks for coming on and sharing your stories. I do like it.
course. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Well,
Sorry if I'm a bit of a rambler.
oh, I think it's good. It's good. I'm on. Sometimes I am too. Well, I would love to have you back on so we get more of your stories. Before you go, where do you have any shows coming up, or are you guys just taking the time to relax?
Yeah, so I don't know if my camera is still on. I just switched windows.
Oh yeah, your
Um,
camera's still
yeah,
on.
I mean, so to answer your question, yeah, we're playing this Saturday at that I mentioned that place called O'Sullivan's. Next Saturday after that, we're playing at Soft House in DC. But yeah, we play about 50 or so shows per year. And we usually book like a solid 3 to 6 months in advance, if not the whole year in advance. So, I tell everybody, like, all my friends, like, oh, we gotta see your show, and I say, yeah, don't worry if you can't make it to this one. We play every weekend. Like, it's all good. Like, you never have to feel stressed. Like, you're gonna be like, if you can't come, like, I'm gonna think you're some terrible friend. We play every weekend, basically. So,
Well, that's exciting.
yeah,
Well,
it's a lot of fun. I love it.
hopefully I'll see you guys down here sometime, and
Hey, man, we'll hit you up.
we'll try to find a show for in Kansas City. There are good some good venues out here too. But I wouldn't
Hey,
pick
if
the
you want, you
ones.
can, if you want, you can come up on stage and you can sing Rap God by Eminem.
No, thank you. Don't know that
But
song.
only Rap God. We will only accept Rap God and nothing else.
Oh no, never heard of Rap Gods.
Take a listen to Rap God by Eminem, and you'll be like, ah, now I know why he wants me to do this. I can do this. You can do it. Trust me. Believe in yourself, Dan.
Oh, well, I guess. I've been thinking about something, but I don't know if I should do it. I should maybe go to try out some um coffee shops to do this spoken word. I have a stashed in my phone, but kind of scared, but I mean, I get stage fright, but it's a
I know a lot of people that feel that way, and I think it's perfectly legitimate to feel that way. But if you ever get the courage to go up, do it. Or if you're ever like, should I not just do it? If you can, if you have that opportunity, maybe like an open mic or you actually get booked somewhere, you're only gonna grow. And I got friends that have, they like my buddy's an amateur comedian says, man, it is scary getting up there, but I just keep doing it. And he's like, yeah, Paul, like I've gotten up there and I've kind of gotten beaten down on stage, but I'm still happy I did it. So it's you know, just do it.
well, okay. I'll think
As
about.
a what's like Emperor Palpatine or what's the name? The Sith Lord guy. He just says do it.
Oh, I don't know. Some of these things you're talking about, I don't even know who they are. I have to.
I have a pretty weird sense of humor and weird references. I pull stuff out of left field and people just give me that look, feel like, I don't know what you're talking about, man, but I'm gonna smile anyways.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, though. It's been fun, and
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
now before you go, who should I have on the show next? Anybody for your bands? Should I have you?
Yeah, I mean all my bandmates are worth talking to. I can definitely hit up some people, see if they're interested and let you know.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk to
I got a
you.
few bandmates in mind that would probably I got a few people in mind that would probably be willing to hop on and have some good conversations with you, and they're all good people too. I don't work with bad people.
Oh no, I don't think so. Um,
Yeah,
but
I'll let you know though. I'll actually I'll get some names for you.
all right. Talk to you later. Have a good night.
All right. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it, man. Have a good one.